Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Matt Cunningham, and I'm a partner in the law firm, Australia's largest law firm, Inter Ellison. We've been helping startups in Australia since 1827, and when you think about it, most businesses in Australia in 1827 were startups. So that's a lot of startups. We're a full-service firm, and we offer corporate finance, capital and structuring, property, tax, disputes, all sorts of services, legal services that any of the members of the cohort for 2017 and 2018 could need. And one of the exciting young companies we've been dealing with is a company I'm about to introduce to you today, James Tyler. James Tyler has been making some fantastic strides up into China, where a lot of businesses are founded on the rocks of uncertainty, lack of data and costs. James Tyler is an expert in China Green Channel, digital sales channel and cold chain storage. They're purveyors of fine food. And I'd like to introduce to you now James Hutchinson, one of the co-founders of James Tyler. James. Take me back to it's been a long time.
So, a couple of years ago, Tyler and I were walking along a Beijing supermarket aisle, looking at the fresh dairy section. And what we saw completely shocked us. Well-known Australian milk selling for $15 per litre, with only 2 or 3 days shelf life remaining. Not exactly great value for money. A couple of days later, and we're in Guangzhou, visiting one of the largest fresh fruit marketplaces in the world, Jiangnan Shichang. And right in the middle of the imported fresh fruit section were people buying fake replica boxes of premium Tasmanian cherry brands and filling them with cheap Chilean cherries. Now, this stark contrast couldn't have been clearer. On one hand, you had Australian products priced completely out of reach of most Chinese people. And on the other, you had Chinese distributors using our brands to execute their dodgy scams. And I remember Tyler, is over there, looking at me in that market and saying, 如果我们能解决这个问题，将会有一个很大的机会. So, we set out to solve this problem. But to do so, we had to find an alternative solution to the existing Chinese supply chains that are a tangled web with layers and layers of middlemen. Fresh Australian produce will on average change hands 5 times before it reaches the end consumer, adding huge costs along the way. Secondly, and more importantly, frequent food scandals has completely shattered Chinese consumers' confidence. So much so that now 99% of Chinese consumers would change their choice in food based on food safety. But we knew that if we could overcome these problems, then we'd be able to tap into the huge opportunity for fresh produce in China. Last year, in 2017, over 25% of China's dairy was imported, coming to a total of 2.4 million tonnes and $3.2 billion. And this is expected to grow by 18% per year. But it's not just the dairy industry experiencing this trend. It's also meat, seafood and fruit experiencing similar, if not greater, rates of growth. So, to capture this opportunity, we spent the last 3 years developing our own end-to-end cold chain logistics solution that can take product right from Australian farm to Chinese table. And it covers over 90% of China's population. We have reduced middlemen from 5 to 1. And now remember that $15 bottle of milk? We can do the same for $6 with 15 days shelf life and better margins. But it wasn't enough just to develop a transparent and efficient supply chain. To really win the Chinese consumers' hearts, we had to develop our own trusted sales channel. And it's what we did next, which completely set us apart from our competitors. We targeted and grew a community of Chinese Australians, otherwise known as Daigou, to promote and sell our products back to their family and friends in China. Using our platform, Daigou can just focus on what they do best, driving sales through word-of-mouth endorsement. Now, over the last couple of months, our Daigou network has grown by 60%. We now have close to 1,000 Daigou with 40 million consumer reach. But we didn't just stop with the Daigou. Recently, we have activated celebrity chefs and social media stars, promoting and selling our product to a fan base of over 35 million people. We have social media influencers, just like Celeste, walking along Australian farms, dodging cowpats, live streaming to an audience of tens of thousands of people in China who only need to click on a link embedded in that video, and they'll have fresh produce delivered from that farm directly to their door. Recently, we have signed a number of global FMCG brands who have trusted us to develop and execute their China strategy. And this has helped see our sales grow by more than 400% over the past couple of months. So we now have 61,000 unique customers spread right around China, 32% of whom are repeat buyers. And in August, we signed a strategic partnership with Hema, Alibaba's new retail chain. And in just a matter of weeks, we have delivered 36 tonnes of fresh milk to 68 of their stores nationwide. And on the 28th of this month, we are launching our T72 project with Suning Fresh, where we will deliver fresh Australian milk to Suning stores in under 72 hours from being bottled in New South Wales. Now, that's fresher than most Australians get their milk. Based on these projections and based on our traction, we project sales of $3 million this year, growing to $50 million in 2020. Our founding team have a combined 35 years' experience building major global brands in China. We have logistics specialists, customs clearance team, social media gurus and tech team, all bilingual and all with a deep understanding of both Australian and Chinese cultures. So, 3 years on from that supermarket in Beijing, and we are now the largest exporter of fresh Australian dairy to China. But we're not stopping there. Recently, we've started sourcing products from other markets, such as New Zealand, and have expanded to other food categories, including meat, seafood, and fresh fruit. So, we now have a strong foundation to scale, and we are well on our way to realising our vision of becoming the global farm to Chinese table platform. Thank you. Take me back to you.